At daybreak, our team stepped into the deep woods, the ground still blanketed in morning fog. This was the same area where wild boars had been ripping up young trees and tearing through mixed crop lots, so today we deployed a combined formation. Shooters took up tactical positions while the hounds handled tracking and pressure. The forest was dim, the soil wet, and the wind kept shifting, so we reviewed communication rules and safety limits right from the start. But the moment the first bark echoed through the trees, the real hunt began. We weren't out here for personal sport. This was a responsibility, a mission to protect the land, the crops, and the people who depend on it. Right from first steps, we released the hounds to scout ahead and pick up scent early. Within minutes, they cut sharply toward a thin patch of forest, clear sign that a lone boar had split from the herd. The team immediately spread out in two directions, using the terrain to lock down its escape lane. As the dogs flushed the boar onto an open trail, the front shooter took a clean, controlled shot, quiet, precise, not enough noise to alarm the entire area. A smooth and tidy start. The boar never had a chance to fight back. Following the hounds deeper into the woods, the forest thickened and the dry leaf bed crackled under every step. But that same layer of leaves amplified a faint set of footsteps, another lone boar hugging the edge of a narrow path. The dogs pushed it toward more open ground. We looped to the right, setting up a crossfire angle to avoid any chance of it charging straight through someone. The moment half its body slipped into view, a sharp, controlled shot ended the threat and kept the area under full control. After clearing the carcass, we moved on under the captain's lead toward a patch of dense, low brush. Experience told him this was prime boar cover. They could burst out without warning. The hounds picked up scent and guided us into a dark, shadowed patch where a low growl rumbled from inside. We switched into a V formation to prevent any breakout on either side. Watching the wind, watching the dogs, we pressured it toward the only open pocket. One fast, safe, accurate shot, no room for a counterstrike. Only a few minutes later, the radio crackled. Scouts spotted a massive dark figure about 100 meters out. We advanced immediately. Fallen trees littered the area, and a heavy sound from the left made the entire team pivot. A full-grown boar burst through and went down with the first shot, but that impact drew the rest of the herd. Charging in fast, stirred up by the dogs and the scent of humans. We split into two wings, each shooter holding a clear, non-overlapping lane. One by one the boars rushed through, and one by one they were dropped exactly as planned. Tense, but the formation worked flawlessly. Not even 5 minutes later, the ground began to tremble softly. The hounds erupted in non-stop barking, sign of a larger group closing in fast. We immediately formed a blocking line, held the high ground, and engaged each boar as it circled through the fallen timber. 635 foot, and when silence finally settled, we didn't leave. We pushed into the thick brush to confirm no wounded boar remained capable of a surprise countercharge. This is a non-negotiable rule in deep forest hunts. On our way back toward the trail, the hounds dove into a quiet patch of woods, then suddenly barked an alarm. Another lone boar was hiding deep inside a clump of dense foliage. The captain kept one man watching our rear in case more were nearby, while two of us advanced to box the angle. The moment the boar lunged across the path, a single, perfectly placed shot dropped it mid-stride. Last night, a heavy forest rain had just ended, leaving behind a carpet of damp leaves, still carrying that earthy, musky scent. The forest seemed to awaken yet that peace was only an illusion. Beneath the moist soil, thick clusters of boar tracks were deeply imprinted, a clear sign that a herd had just passed through, perhaps only hours ago. We quickly realized this was the precious clue that would set off a tactical showdown. This wouldn't be a simple ambush this time. The team had to plan every move carefully, dividing positions and turning this dense jungle into a battlefield where each step could determine the outcome. Silently, we advanced deeper into the forest, every step light and deliberate to avoid a single sound. Minutes later, a strange rustling echoed from the clearing ahead, an entire herd of wild boars gathering to feed. We all waited in absolute silence, until the captain gave a firm nod. Bang! 2 opening shots rang out almost simultaneously. 2 massive targets dropped instantly, while the rest of the herd scattered in panic. The momentum was now completely in our favor. Just as planned, the fleeing herd unknowingly ran straight into the trap we had set earlier. From a distance, one of my teammates had already taken aim, his rifle steady. He waited for the prey to step fully into the open, a perfect line of sight, and an ideal shooting angle. The golden moment came. The trigger was squeezed decisively. The bullet tore through the still air. The boar froze for a split second before collapsing to the ground without a chance to fight back. Before the echo of that shot could fade, another thunderous gunshot erupted nearby. Another massive boar fell. Everything unfolded just as our captain had predicted. The direction of their escape, the timing, even the reaction of the herd. His strategic precision and our flawless coordination made any attempt at escape utterly hopeless. After collecting our trophies, we moved on to track down the stragglers that had fled deeper into the woods. Barely 10 minutes later, our captain spotted movement ahead. He lowered his breathing, raised his rifle, but instead of firing right away, he paused, calculating the trajectory. Then, with a calm squeeze of the trigger, the bullet sliced through the brush. One shot. 2 kills. Both targets fell, instantly unable to react. That flawless execution left the entire team in awe. To save time, the captain signaled for the group to split into smaller teams. As I slipped through a dense thicket, a shadow caught my eye in the distance, moving slowly, unaware. I advanced carefully, every step firm and quiet. The rifle came up, sights aligned perfectly because even a slight mistake could turn the tide. The shot fired, the bullet struck true, and in an instant, the boar went down. Moments later, a report came through target spotted at the 3 o'clock position. I sprinted in that direction, mind racing, calculating each move. As I neared the location, I moved in a zigzag pattern to minimize detection and signaled my teammates to cover the rear escape route. When the boar turned to flee, I led the target perfectly and pulled the trigger. The bullet hit its mark, dropping the animal before it could even take another step. After hours of trekking through the forest, exhaustion began to set in. we decided to gather our game and head back to the rendezvous point. Today's hunt wasn't just about precision shots, it was a true testament to teamwork, discipline, and tactical intelligence. All of this took place within legal and ethical boundaries in service of protecting the community.
The short days in Greece have given me countless unforgettable experiences. One of them is the wild boar hunting trip in the Erymanthus Mountains in the freezing winter. Here, natural predators are becoming increasingly rare, causing the wild boar population to grow uncontrollably. I, along with a few friends, set out on this hunting trip. From this experience, I understood why the Greeks still keep the tradition of wild boar hunting as an integral part of their life. After a simple breakfast, we sat in a familiar vehicle and headed towards the Erymanthus Mountains in western Peloponnese. It was the wild boar mating season, so they were moving around more, providing favorable conditions for hunting. Thanks to the snow, we could easily track the boars' whereabouts. I closely followed their tracks, moving quickly as a feeling told me the prey was very near. And sure enough, a dark shape came rushing down from the opposite mountain slope. I fired in time, one clean shot. The boar fell and slid down the slope. However, I moved closer and fired another shot because, in the forest, certainty is always the most reliable companion. Not far from me, Gilbert was also in position, continuously firing when a whole herd of wild boars appeared unexpectedly. However, the boars weren't easy to handle. They ran like the wind, weaving through thick tree trunks in a maze-like manner. Even though Gilbert tried to stay close, it was really difficult to aim under these conditions, and in the blink of an eye, the entire herd vanished from sight as quickly as they had appeared. After about half an hour of moving, we had reached near the summit of the mountain. While still on the move, Gilbert and I noticed unusual movements from the trees beside us. Hunting instinct urged me to immediately raise my rifle and squeeze the trigger before the wild boar disappeared into the brush. And with just one shot, the target was neatly taken down. A quick, efficient shot, just the way I like it. Upon reaching the mountaintop, the air became even colder, and the snow beneath our feet grew thicker, but the sound of barking dogs echoed like a reminder that we couldn't stop. In the blink of an eye, a dark figure suddenly appeared. Gilbert steadied his rifle and fired a decisive shot. With the close distance, this time the boar couldn't escape. The race with the wild boars became more intense than ever before. Seizing every moment and every opportunity, we continued our hunt that afternoon. The hounds remained by our side, helping the team locate new targets. The snowstorm thickened, and we had to move down for safety. We set up a temporary small tent, and I sat waiting for my teammates to return. While sitting alone in the silence, the sound of the hounds and gunshots from afar woke me up to immediately raise my rifle. I aimed and fired decisively. The boar collapsed in the midst of the heavy snowfall. I had completed an unexpected hunt. The rain stopped, and under the gloomy sky, I still pressed on, looking for the last targets of the day. Hiding behind some wild branches, I silently observed the wild boar's movements. Waiting for it to reach the right position, I gently raised my rifle and took a decisive shot to end the chase. After the shot rang out, the wild boar fell, marking the end of this challenging hunting trip. The challenges we faced throughout the journey were not only about hunting, but also lessons in patience and determination. Thank you for joining us on this trip. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel.